Hello and thank you for watching. Today I will show you how I made this Christmas stocking with this panel. If you want the panel I used, I will leave a link in the description. This is the machine I will be using today. It's the Husqvarna Emerald 116. I have now had it for 6 years and it has not missed a beat. It is a great starter machine, and if you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can get it. Enough talk, let's get to the video. To make the Christmas stocking, you will need the stocking panel, some pellin, lining, some trimming, and also some buttons to decorate. My stocking has 2 different prints, so I can make 2 stockings out of the one panel. It also came with instructions, some diagrams for assembly, and also some printed check to make the tabs so you can hang the stocking. I decided to make the snowman for today. Firstly, I roughly cut around the stocking shape. Then I placed some pellin underneath both stockings, making sure it covers the whole print. I cut the excess pellin off so I have less chance of it sticking to my iron. Then I fused the pellin to the stocking. Next I placed the lining underneath, again making sure it covers the whole print, making sure they're both either face up or face down. Then I pin all the layers in place and cut neatly around the outline. The pattern comes with a 6mm seam allowance. Now I lay the lining pieces right sides together and pin this side of the stocking together. I will sew down this line up to the horizontally placed pin. Then I will pin the main stocking pieces in the exact same manner and just sew down to the horizontal pin again. Now it is time to decorate. I place everything where I would like it to be and then top stitch everything down neatly. So now, I can teach you how I've been properly taught to sew on buttons. First, I cut a long piece of thread, then I thread the 2 ends through the needle. Then I meet the 2 ends with the loop and knot all threads together. So I'll be hand sewing with 4 threads. I cut the end off near the knot and start from the top as shown. This way, the button will conceal the initial knot. Then I continued to sew on the button as usual. Once I have done this about 4 times, I wrap the thread around the button 3 times to secure, and then I bring the thread to the wrong side and create 2 knots as shown. If I was sewing this onto a shirt or something where the underside will be seen, I would thread the loose end between the 2 layers of the fabric and then cut, as everything would be concealed. With my Christmas button pack, I just go crazy and have fun with the placement of everything. The tree didn't come with a shank, so I hot glue gunned it on. To make the tabs, I cut neatly around the outline of one and fold it in half lengthwise, right sides together. Then I pin in place and sew neatly down the side with the raw edges. Then I turn the tab right sides out. I did this with a needle and thread because I hadn't invested in a proper loop turner. I thoroughly recommend you use that instead, as it is much easier and faster. I press the tab neatly and then top stitch down both sides for a very neat finish. I pinned the tab on so it straddled the side seam as shown. Then I grabbed the lining and pinned it right sides together along the top. Then I sewed the top together, being careful not to sew over any pins. Once sewn, I understitched the lining so it would stay neatly in place. This was done by stitching the seam allowance to the lining side 2mm from the seam line. Now I can open up the stocking and fold it right sides together. I first pin the parts that need to line up, in this case the top seam, then I pin the rest, making sure to leave a hole in the lining that is big enough to fit my hand through. Then I sew everything up, remembering to leave the hole and doing a solid reverse stitch. Now I can clip the corners. This is important for the stocking to lay completely flat and look professional. Before I turn it through, I fold the lining like so and pin it down at the bottom and the side. Then I do a catch stitch through all layers. This is easily done by going backwards and forwards on your machine a few times. I do this so the lining will stay in place while everyone is putting in and taking out their Christmas goodies. Now I can turn the whole stocking inside out. This took me a while, so just be patient. Then I close the hole in the lining by pinning it in place and then neatly top stitching it closed. The last step of all projects I make is to neatly press all seams flat. I am being careful not to iron over any trimmings or buttons. And now your Christmas present is ready. Thank you so much for lasting this long. I hope you learned something new and I hope you enjoyed watching me sew. Again, if you would like this stocking for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can get it. And same with the machine. And until next time, take care.